guys. Welcome to another episode of Her Accountability Partner. This episode is called The Art of Starting Over. This morning I woke up and I felt very heavy to really do this podcast because there's a lot of us have a real fear about starting over, like moving away from family, changing jobs, leaving a toxic relationship. Like there's a lot of us scared to start over. But what we don't understand is every morning that we get up, we're starting over. Whether or not you change your behavior and do something different, you started over. So I decided to record this podcast so that you understand the journey of how to start over, ways and tips of how to start over, and don't be scared to start over. The first thing that you need to do in order to really start over is embrace the fears and the uncertainties, guys. Our mind is a powerful thing. If we say we're scared, that's what our feelings and our emotions is going to reflect. If we say we're happy, that's what our feelings and our emotions is going to produce. So at the end of the day, embrace your fears and know that you're going to be uncertain about everything you're starting over. The next thing is reflecting on your journey. What made you say, hey, I need to start over? Hey, I need to really sit down and reevaluate where I am because I'm going in the wrong direction. Reflection is one of the number one things that we avoid. Why? Because now we have to accept that we are doing something wrong, or we did something wrong, or we experienced something that was traumatizing. So reflect on your journey of where you got today and celebrate that you can even think about starting over. The next thing is set clear goals. Time, date, when, where, why, and how. Answer those questions. You need to set clear goals. And when I say clear goals, schedule them in the calendar, guys. Understand and know that when you're setting goals, goals are to be met. So if you're going to set goals, set small ones and then big ones. If you have a job that doesn't pay you enough and you cannot relocate, okay, maybe it's time to go work 2 jobs. Maybe it's time to go get a better job. Maybe it's time to see if your job is where you want to go and just transfer. But when you're setting goals, realistic goals make sense. Why? The journey of the transition is easy. The next thing is create your accountability system. If that's a person, if that's a self-check-in, whatever your accountability is for yourself that works the best, that's what you do. Another thing is creating a support system. It's the same thing like an accountability system. Your accountability coach or partner should be able to help you navigate every week how close you are to your big day of transitioning. This could mean losing weight, getting a divorce, changing your job, whatever starting over looks like to you. To me, starting over looked like, hey, I'm deleting all my pages on social media. My phone is staying on do not disturb. I'm not taking calls that does not put me in a mind frame of where I'm going. I'm no longer entertaining other people's drama, and I got my own. That's what starting over looked like. My starting over was a personal development journey that I had to learn that time is valuable and I couldn't get back. So that's what my starting over looked like. The another thing is submerge yourself in information, guys. Growing your mindset is so important. A lot of us get stuck in but this is what they did and it worked. But do you really know the ins and outs of what they did? Learn for yourself. Go gather your own information. Go get your own book. Go ask your own questions. Why? Cultivating a growth mindset, you really embrace the journey even more because you understand I'm uncomfortable in this season, but in my next season it's going to be better. It's going to be greater because you understand that you're working towards a goal. The next thing is taking care of yourself physically. You know, starting over is so much anxiety. It's so much can't go to sleep or you oversleep. It just depends on how do you deal with depression? How do you deal with bad days? For me, I overeat and I don't get no sleep. For some of y'all sleep all day and y'all don't eat. So you have to be able to recognize how do you deal with it and make sure that you don't end up going back there. Another thing is balance. You have to exercise, eat right. You have to get in a routine. Transitioning is all about today I'm doing this and I'm sticking to it, because you can move to a whole new city. You can go and get a new man. You can go get a new person in your life, but that same behavior follows you because it's you. Understanding and knowing that you can move all you want. The physical is one thing, but you take your mental with you. It's like being in a room with a bunch of people and you feel overwhelmed. And then you get home and you still feel overwhelmed. Yes, because you took you with you. So dealing with your mental cognitive state is so important. Sitting down and being able to reevaluate where you are mentally helps starting over even better. The next thing is be patient, guys. If you're really setting actionable goals to do this big thing to really change, patience is the key. You have to learn to sit in, okay, I didn't get it done today, but I have tomorrow. Hey, I may not be able to sleep tonight until everything gets done, but it got done. Patience is where you understand I'm on a journey. The next thing is knowing that on your journey it's going to be so many unknowns. And I say unknowns because unknowns are the things that we never account for, but we know something is going to happen. So when you realize something is happening and it was the unknown, start celebrating. Do the opposite. Train your mind to become happy, to embrace what just happened. Most of the time, the unknowns require what? You to do something. A passing, a loss, a job loss, car broke down. Everything that can happen on your journey, we know it's going to happen. Why? Because we've been here for many years. We've been humans for many years, right? And we've been adulting all of these years. So we know things are going to happen. So when things happen, we need to learn to become adaptable and flexible to where you're like, okay, that took me off course for a day, a minute, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, but I'm getting back on point. The next thing is understanding that the day that you say, hey, I'm really tired of this and I got to make a change, everything around you really begins to happen to where you start feeling like, did I put my best foot forward? Did I make the right decision? So fear steps in. So when fear steps in, now we talk about purpose. If you are in alignment with your purpose, the transition is worth it. If you're really in alignment with purpose, you understand deep down inside, I have to do this for me. When you really are in your purpose and you walking in your truth, people, circumstances, situations begin to change because now they're uncomfortable, because now you talking different, you walking different. Your cognitive state ends up not even seeing what's going on around you because you're so laser focused to where you like, oh my goodness, something is changing. People are changing. I'm hearing from them less. I'm seeing people less. I'm comfortable with being by myself. I understand in this season and space that this is a me situation, a me and God type of situation. When you truly are ready for the change, you're able to hit that start over button and never look back. Honestly, and never look back. You start celebrating even on your bad days. You excited to get to the next day. And that's what the art of starting over looks like. You become accountable in your growth. You begin to really make measurable goals that you're actually hitting. You start seeking therapy, start going to church. Like, you do everything to really make that change, because why? The art of starting over is really a personal journey, and it's called self-development first. Not getting another house, not moving to a new place. No, not changing a job. Why? Because you taking you with you. So the art of starting over is called self-development first, and then the physical starts happening. Why? You're talking different. You're going to different places. Your outlook is different. You become responsible to money and time. You don't waste those things anymore, because why? You had to actually sacrifice something to get you to where you are today. So the art of starting over, it starts with you, and then the next thing after you is the physical of starting over. Losing weight, changing jobs, getting married, getting a divorce, whatever that looks like, hit the button. I encourage you right now to write down, what does the art of starting over look like to you? Because the art to me started with me. I woke up one morning and I said, something got to change, God. Something has to change. I cannot continue to wake up and feel the same way I kept feeling. I kept feeling unfulfilled. Why? Because I didn't want to go back to school. I didn't want to have to study again. I didn't want to have to be up late nights. I didn't want to have to sacrifice. Everything I said what I didn't. But when you understand purpose, the I doesn't exist. It becomes, okay, God, how can we make today better? God, just give me the strength to do this. And when I really put my best foot forward in the change, God really showed up on my behalf. I got a scholarship to complete out my whole degree. I began to really start talking to people about me not being a business coach anymore, but actually being a therapist. And the transition was so smooth. Why? Because being a business coach, you pretty much are a life coach, because why? People's mindset has to be changed in order to start businesses, in order to keep a business. Anybody here that's an entrepreneur know entrepreneurship is really a God in me, because you know nothing about nothing, but you did something and it worked and you continued. So to wrap this up today, I just want to tell you, if you're really serious about starting over, get a paper and write down what it looks like to start over. Write down your goals and write down your accountability plan. So guys, thanks for joining me on this accountability growth journey. Remember, every step you take today leads to bigger change. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave me a comment, and remember, I'm always here. Send me a message, and you can always hop on an accountability call with me. Bye, guys.